Maryland Governor Larry Hogan, meanwhile, predicting that the D.C. metro area will soon look like New York as the region sees a spike in coronavirus cases, including an outbreak that sickened dozens of nursing home residents in Carroll County, Maryland. Governor Hogan joins us live this morning with an update on the situation in your state. Governor, good morning. How are things this morning?
Good morning, Sandra. Well, so just over the past week, good morning. Just over the past week, cases have more than quadrupled in the Washington metro area, so Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. This case in our Carroll County nursing home is a tragic one. We have 66 patients so far that have tested positive, along with, we've got 27 staff members that appear to be symptomatic and that we're going to be testing. But this is a serious issue that we've doubled over the past just 2 days, and we look a lot like where New York was just a couple of weeks ago, and all of our experts, scientists from places like Johns Hopkins, and talking with folks at NIH also concur that we're just kind of on the next wave of hotspots, and we're surround the nation's capital, and we have 404,000 of federal workers that are on the front lines of this fight. We're the home to NIH and CDC and the FDA, along with the NSA and Cyber Command and things like that are important to our nation's security. So it's quite a crisis, not only for our state, but for the folks that are leading the federal response.
Governor, to that nursing home and the story there that is still developing with, as of last night, 66 residents of the Pleasant View nursing home testing positive for the coronavirus. Here's one of your state medical officials basically saying they just don't have what they need to protect themselves in that building.
One of the things that's important is PPE is in short supply everywhere, that we conserve this PPE and make sure that there's enough to go around for people who really need it. But we are ensuring that they have adequate PPE to deal with the patients there that they have to care for.
PPE, of course, is personal protective equipment, Governor, as you very well know. So what is the state doing to get the needed supplies to nursing homes like that?
Well, so as you know, I'm the chairman of the National Governors Association. We have another call at 11:30 today with the president and vice president. It'll be our 6th one. It's the #1 concern of every governor in America, that both the federal and the state level, everybody's doing everything they possibly can, but there's a tremendous shortage, which you're hearing over and over again from everywhere, from the federal leaders and from every governor, that there's just a tremendous shortage, which is why we called on the president to ramp up the Defense Production Act, which is why we're pushing FEMA to try to distribute everything in the national stockpile. And it's why every state is trying to take every step possible to ramp this up. But this is a case that's not just in this nursing home or not just in our state, but every single hospital across America, and frontline workers and people that are really being exposed. We've got this crisis in America that has to be addressed, and everybody at the federal, state, and local level is trying to grapple with this.
And part of that is encouraging the residents of your state to engage in social distancing. Some are not abiding by that. In fact, you've decided to crack down. There's this one story of a Maryland man, 41 years old, who on 2 separate occasions held a party with 60 people over a bonfire. First time, he was asked for those people to leave. He abided by that. Second time, he was arrested. So what are you doing to crack down on those guidelines in your state?
Right. So we've been taking unprecedented and very aggressive action for 24 straight days. We're probably out front of most states in the country. First to declare a state of emergency, the first ones to close all the schools in our state, and we put really strict efforts in place. But you're right, a few people are not, most people are abiding by them, but a few people are refusing to. Last week we pushed all of the state and local law enforcement agencies to start enforcing things like that. Most of them have been, people have complied as soon as they're asked to by local authorities or by state authorities. In this particular case, this man refused to cooperate and was arrested. And it sends a great message out there to folks that we're not playing around, that when you do something like this, you're not only endangering your life, but the lives of our fellow citizens, and we're not going to tolerate it.
Governor, with the few seconds I have left with you, I know you've got a big day meeting with the other governors. The president just spoke on Fox News Channel a short time ago, talking about his engagement with the governors of each of these states that are dealing with this crisis. What has your relationship been with the president in trying to tackle this problem in Maryland?
Yeah, it's been I've been leading the governor's calls with the president, and we last week and the week before put together a list of priorities for all the governors, many of which they have really made efforts to try to address. I think putting FEMA in charge last week and trying to get things out to the governors has been good. Many of the team members, the vice president has been terrific. The relationship, the president has made the effort to communicate, but we're still pressing because there's still issues that all the states and the federal government, quite frankly, are having. So we're going to keep pushing. But we really are trying to work together as best we can because we're all in this together.
Governor Hogan, we really appreciate your time this morning. Our best to you, the residents of your state. This is a huge problem that we're dealing with across the country and around the globe. Appreciate your time this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator.